Hey guys, Artemis the Spray Gunner, welcome to our channel again. And as you can see, I still travel and bother artists to keep them from work. So this time I'm coming to Michele Raw, and how do you call the cabin?
Stabin cabin.
Stabin cabin, yes. Stabin cabin airbrush, that's the place. And I think this is it. So this is the room where most of it comes, except for some bigger projects.
Yes.
We have some nice art around it. We have the corner with the beautiful custom border.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really nice. And yeah, everything else. So tell us about the place. It's you moved from Michigan, right?
We
How long
moved
ago?
from Michigan about 5 years ago. I've been airbrushing now this will be my 10th year.
Okay.
I started out on cars and got tired of it, wanted to do smaller things, haha, and started to airbrush and liked it and just took off from there. I've done everything from prosthetic legs to travel trailers and airplanes, helicopters, you name it, bikes, everything and anything in between. People will have me airbrush and paint and redo for them and stuff. Pretty well known for the clown work that I do. Yeah. Lots of people like the clowns. They're fun to paint. They're so interesting. When you're doing a clown, you don't necessarily have to stay to all the facial lines, and nothing has to be exact and accurate. You can change it as you're working on something. Whereas a portrait, it has to stay precise. Whereas a clown, you can just...
It gives you freedom, yeah.
Yeah, play around with it and change it however you want. And
Make it more artistic.
yeah,
Exactly.
make it more sinister and evil looking.
Awesome. And so this is your workspace?
This is the indoor workspace, yes. I do the smaller stuff in here, the bigger items outside, like cars or RVs, and the helicopter that's out there, airplane parts. I do all of that out in the big shop. But this is where all the magic happens. This is where I live. I'm out here 7 days a week, all the time.
Do you feel like you're living a dream? You know, coming to work from just couple steps right there?
I'm definitely living the dream because my house, we're in the back side of my house, as you've seen.
Oh, so there's an entrance right here?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And I'm a few steps away from work. I can come to work. I can wear my pajamas. I don't have to dress up for anybody. And I'm usually out here 10 to 12 hours a day, just depending on what it is that I'm working on, or even when I don't have a project, which isn't very often. I'm still out here playing with my airbrushes, practicing, just messing around out here all the time. You always have to practice. And a lot of people, they've asked me, well, how did you come about doing this? Or, how do you do this? Or how do you do that? And they get worried, as I'm sure you've seen with a lot of students. The first thing that they'll show you is, well, I screwed up right here. And I tell people all the time, don't tell anyone that you've screwed up. You're the only one that that you've screwed up.
That's art, yeah.
You change it, you modify it, you do whatever it takes to make you happy so that you're satisfied in what you've done. And I tell people all the time, I will come out here first and do a few dagger strokes, do dots, just to loosen up, I guess, a little bit before I dive into whatever it is that I'm working on. But I tell people that all the time. Just keep practicing, doodle with it, and have fun. That's the key.
Yeah,
you have to have fun. And if it's not fun, then you should do something else until you do find out that it's fun. And as you can see, I have several sponsors from Trulers, the Createx line, Ben & Magazines, Tamco, of course, and my new favorite guy, Tommy from Alpha Pigments, Sparkle EFX Flake, as well as CSI polish.
So you have this strange mixture of water-based and solvent-based paints. How do you go about it? You use one over another sometimes?
I use both of them, and a lot of people get that confused. They think that you only can stay with the solvent-based paint, or you can only stay with the water-based paint. Whereas right now on this one, I am using the Createx Illustration Black. I'm also using Createx illustration in this one, except for the red has been solvent. So you can mix the two. You won't have a chemical reaction. Yeah, you won't have a chemical reaction at all. And even when you go to clear it, because I do my own clearing, it clears just fine. So I've never had a problem with any of it. And as you can see, I do it all the time. I'll use the Tamco, the HOK products, and the Createx products.
Tamco clear coat?
Yes, Tamco clear coat.
Which is your favorite?
Yep. My favorite is 7600.
Okay.
I like the 7600. Second up would be 9500, which is the 30-minute.
One of my most popular, yeah.
Yeah, high impact clears. And for the flakes and stuff like that, when you're doing details such as like the skate deck that I did for Trulers for Airbrush the magazine, they had asked me to do this for them. I used the 2104 on that because the 2104 has the thickest mills and it buries the flake the best.
I also see some of the bottles there without any labels. Is it something you custom mixed, or what?
Some of these are custom mixed, and some of them, like that one does not have one on there. This is the Tamco Can't Sit With Us Pink. Instead of grabbing them out of the jars, I prefer to, because I'm airbrushing with them, it's a lot easier for me to just grab the container, put a couple drops in my airbrushes, and then be able to go versus opening a can and, you know, trying to count out the drops and everything.
Really
well, for the most part, I do have Badger airbrushes. I don't use them. I can't get the quality out of them that I prefer. So for the most part, it's Iwata's, and then my new Grex, which is still set up for the larger fan pattern, and I absolutely love the Grex guns. I like how it's so universal, and you can swap everything out within a matter of minutes.
Yeah.
But
go from round to the
yes, yeah, I think they're fantastic to use because, you know, with your Iwatas, you're set in stone. That's it. But with the Grex, I can change the cups all the time. And
all right, nice. Well, why don't you show us a big spot if you don't mind?
Okay.
I'm really excited about that.
All right, we can go out there and check out the helicopter.
Really cool area here. So there's a lake behind those trees, and it's really green. And yeah, I love the feeling. I love having a lot of land around. So Michele really like it to be here. But at the same time, there's a helicopter staying right here in the hangar, right on your back roads. Is it a cool feeling you have, like the helicopters coming to your backyard?
You know what? It actually is really cool. The first time that I have so much property, they can land out here. The first time that a helicopter landed, the whole entire neighborhood came out to see what was happening. And they'll land out here often to drop off parts or you know, check in and see how it's going and stuff. But this is the first one of many that is coming here. So
yeah, let's see what's on it.
Well, come on in.
Still a work in process.
It's still a work in progress. The owner of this helicopter is a Vietnamese man, and his dad fought in the Vietnamese army for the United States Army. So he wanted to take this one and make it look like it had survived the Vietnam War. That is why he had me weather the screws on here. He also wanted it to look like it was metal. So it was blue, it was a total repaint. I contacted Tammy at Tamco, and we created this gray color to change the entire thing for him. This is the United States side. This is his dad. He was a one-star general, like I had said, and his dad was the only foreign military person to have been awarded an award by the United States government for his participation in the war. And then the 4-star generals that served with him. And then he had me put the planes on here. And then as we go to the back of it, this is an actual scene from Vietnam. He would send me pictures of what he wanted on here, and I put them on. So if we come around to the other side, this is the Vietnamese side. And again, he would send pictures of what he wanted. So this entire scene was actually separate pictures that I just blended together. So there's this one, and then this helicopter, and then these helicopters, and then this one. So he wanted it to look like it was still a fighting scene while they were in Vietnam. And then over here, again, is his dad and the president of Vietnam at the time. And because I don't speak Vietnamese, I can't say their names properly, but these were two soldiers that also fought in the Vietnamese War with his dad. And of course, more helicopters that he has put on there. Now, when we were inside, you saw the top part, like I said, which is called the doghouse. So that will sit up here, and it'll have his dad's portrait on there, and then another helicopter.
Yeah, it sounds like fun. You have projects coming up, big projects. As you want it, you always want to have big projects, like you mentioned. Yeah.
Yes, big projects. Big projects. And this is more fun than doing boats. I don't really like to do the boats, but you know, when they do come in, Michele has a hard time saying no. Plus it's fun. You know, if you've never done something like this before, it's exciting because who else can say, I've got a helicopter out in the shop, you want to go see it?
You have sound line up to you.
Right, you know.
That's awesome. And you do in the clear coat always right here.
Yes.
Like you mentioned, you just cover it up.
Yep. When I go to clear this, we will put tarps out, and I have a fan system that sucks this air in and blows the air out there. Now, when I go to do this, I'll use Tamco's 7600 on it. Because of the weight and balance of the helicopter, you can't go over with aviation stuff. So it's lightweight enough. I can still keep the mills down and polish it out with the CSI buffing compound and ship it off to them. Wait for the next one to come.
How do you ship it? Is it like a trailer coming in picking up?
A trailer does come in. The mechanic comes in with his trailer, and these tires that are on the side, actually right now they're engaged. So if I just went and hung on the back of the tail boom, it lifts it up, and that's how we just push it in and out all the time.
Yeah, the aviation is really strict about the weights, and it's so funny when we went to the Sun and Fun, we're going to Oshkosh actually 2 weeks from now. People with pretty big planes, they're just pulling in behind them, like walking. I had a plane with me, so it's so light.
Yep, they're very lightweight, and this is a composite material, so it's not metal in any way. And that's why he wanted it to look like it was.
Looks metal now, yeah. You did a good job there.
Yep, very cool project.
Well, thanks for showing us that. I mean, yeah, it's really impressive helicopters. Pretty sure many artists dream about projects like that, do something big, something that will fly, and a lot of people probably see it. If he's going to use it, or is it going to be like a museum somewhere, or what's
He will fly this one around. It will sit in the Vietnamese museum for a little bit. The 4-star generals on the United States side, all of those families live in Texas. So he's going to fly it down there to each family so that they can get their pictures with it, tell their stories amongst themselves. So it'll be seen by a lot of people. And he's even talking of maybe flying it, which would be interesting, but having it shipped to Vietnam so that the Vietnamese community that are still there that won't have the opportunity to come and see it, so that it can stay over there with them for a little bit and, a little piece of their history. So that's what I've done here is
it's a good cause.
Painted history for them, and I think it's pretty cool. I really do.
I agree. You can be proud for yourself. Totally. I mean, it's a great project, and especially when you have history like that, you have a story to tell. That makes it even more important. So it's you do an important job. You're getting paid for it, and you walk into your work pretty much.
Exactly.
Now, so that's the way to be. And is there a table we can use?
There certainly is a table. You want to go out to this table, or?
We'll see you there, guys. Yeah.
Yep, there's a black table sitting out there.
Just before we finish all that, there's one more thing I want to the product we carry around with me, so that's why it's all beaten up. But you mentioned that your niece coming to try airbrush, 10 years old, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's for our viewers as well. That's the starter set we came up last year together with Createx colors. So that's the whole box for $120. You can start airbrushing.
That is awesome.
So that includes the Createx product, of course. There's metallic colors, there's some colors. They have the illustration paints, which you like. Oh, this is, see, because I'm carrying around it for so long. It's falling apart. But illustration colors. We have some mixing stuff. We have cups. We have the sheets for practicing. So like a practice sheets.
Yep.
Warm-up sheets we call. And the airbrush with the compressor also included in the box. That's the one you saw in some videos.
Oh, that is
so yeah,
fantastic.
that's the whole thing to pretty much start writing from it. Yeah, it's all ready to go.
Oh, well, I'll be darned. Now, what's the PSI off of this?
Not too high, but enough to start. So we recommend it for detail airbrush. Smaller you get, like if you use the 0.18, like the PS771 airbrush, you can. I mean, we have like Chad here. He painted the whole panel with this airbrush, like the little panel,
really?
the eagle, yeah.
Ah.
So it's yeah, it's not for a big project. It's normally as a secondary airbrush I would recommend, but if you just want to try, if you don't have a 10-year-old niece, you don't know if you want to stick with it or not.
Right.
That's a great way to try without spending too much money on on the products. You know, what do you want to have.
That is very cool. I like that.
Yeah. So that's really, if you guys out there watching and think, you know, maybe I should get an airbrush, you haven't one yet. We're just trying to make it affordable to try. You don't know if you're gonna stick with it or not, but you can try. For really.
Plus, what I like about this kit is not only with the airbrush, you also have the illustration colors, as well as the Createx paints themselves, which have a different consistency of the illustration colors. You know, so one might be easier for you. We wanted to give them an opportunity to check all the products. So we have 4050, of course, which can be used as a primer, as a gloss. You have this product yet? Yes.
4050, yes.
Yep.
You know, it's like a universal product. We have candy, which you can mix with it and try how the candy paints work. And we have two metallics, of course, which you need as the base for candy. So yeah, we try to make everything making sense here, like a really convenient box. And yeah, that's one of the ways, you know, we can.
I really like that. That's very cool.
Beaten up box. But anyways, let's get to our important main mission. Is signing the flag. We have a lot of signatures already here. We forgot some signatures, unfortunately. Drew Blair, coming back to you. I've been twice at Drew Blair's. Imagine I didn't.
And you didn't get him to sign the flag.
Twice we went to Drew Blair's.
Whoops.
But anyways, let's find a spot for you wherever you like it. And,
all right. Well, let's see here. And I always sign everything with a smiley face, so there you go.
Keep a smile, I like it. Well, thanks for having us.
Thank you so much.
Enjoyed seeing the place. And yeah, really nice. Really happy myself to see people who can afford doing the art and making a living from it. I mean, it's really cool.
Yes, it is. I'm very blessed at what I do and what I'm able to do, and you know, and the opportunity to meet people like you is fantastic, and what you guys are doing for the airbrush community with your traveling alone is just fantastic. I think it's great, you know, because you're spreading the word. And a lot of people, for instance, in our town, I say airbrush and they go, "Oh, you do makeup?" Yeah. No.
Or cars.
Or cakes. You do cakes? No, I don't do cakes. I do everything else but that. But you know, I appreciate what you guys are doing, and it's very cool.
Well,
so I'd like
thanks
to
so much.
here.
Thank you. Sure. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope it was helpful and somewhat inspiring, right?
Yes.
Should be inspiring.
Absolutely inspiring.
Should be fun and inspiration.
Yes.
Right. Thank you.